Mulpani cricket ground in the capital's Kageshwari municipality is set to bag ODI status with a semi-final match taking place between Oman and UAE at this venue tomorrow. The second cricket ground that can hold international matches alongside TU ground in Kantipur paves way for Nepal to host more international tournaments. The scenario augurs well for the future of cricket in Nepal, while it offers more fuel to the idea that cricket can also be used to promote tourism in the country. Good evening, I'm Prarambha Dahal. Let's begin with the main stories. Lawmakers demand immediate scrapping of government decision of providing 200,000 rupees to disqualified combatants. Finance Minister says he has no idea of the decision. The bed capacity of the capital civil hospital expanded to 250. The government plans to establish civil hospitals in all 7 provinces. India says its Defence Minister Rajnath Singh held candid talks with his Chinese counterpart Li Shangfu. India and China withdraw troops from some of the disputed areas. And Mulpani cricket ground all set to get the ODI status. The UAE versus Oman match tomorrow will herald Mulpani ground's journey of the ODI status. Members of the House of Representatives of ruling and opposition parties have demanded scrapping of the decision to provide 200,000 rupees each to the disqualified Maoist combatants at the earliest. Addressing the session of the House of Representatives, CPN-UML Chief Whip Padamgiri said that the government had made the decision at a time when the country was in a poor economic condition and demanded for scrapping of the decision at the earliest. Giri also warned that his party would be compelled to take any action if the decision was not withdrawn by the government. He also alleged the government of lacking seriousness towards concluding the remaining works of the peace process. Parliamentarians of ruling party Nepali Congress, Pradeep Paudel, also expressed concern towards the decision, saying it was taken outside of the parliament during a period of economic crisis. He also demanded the government to inform the parliament about the decision. Finance Minister Prakash Mahath has said that he is unaware about the distribution of funds from the state coffers to the ineligible combatants of the armed insurgency era. He has claimed that no such decision had been taken by the Ministry of Finance. The National Youth Federation submitted a memorandum to Finance Minister Mahath, drawing his attention towards the government decision to provide 200,000 rupees each to the ineligible combatants of the insurgency era. Receiving the memorandum, Minister Mahath said that no such decision had been taken by the Ministry of Finance. Minister Mahath further added that he was not aware about the decision of the Council of Ministers regarding the issue. He further assured not to harbor suspicions regarding abuse of state coffers by the government. Minister Mahath said that decisions regarding disqualified combatants should be taken by the Truth and Reconciliation Commission. Newly appointed Chief Ministers of Gandaki and Lumini provinces have been administered their oath of office and secrecy today. Lumini Chief Minister Dilli Bahadur Chaudhary was administered his oath by Province Governor Amik Serchan in Butwal. 3 other ministers were also administered the oath alongside Chaudhary, who appointed Dhan Bahadur Maski of CPN Maoist Center, Santosh Kumar Pandey of Loktantrik Samajwadi Party, and Dharma Bahadur Chaudhary of Nagarik Unmukti Party as ministers without portfolios. Elsewhere, Gandaki Chief Minister Surendra Raj Pandey has also been administered his oath of office and secrecy. Appointed the Chief Minister under the sub-article 2 of Article 168 of the Constitution of Nepal, Pandey was administered his oath by Province Governor Prithviman Gurung. Alongside Pandey, Saraswati Tiwari of Nepali Congress and Sushila Simkhada of CPN Maoist Center were administered the oath of office and secrecy. Tiwari and Simkhada are yet to be assigned their portfolios. Chief Minister Pandey has assumed his office today itself. Both Chief Ministers are from Nepali Congress. Now, newly elected members of the House of Representatives of Rashtriya Swatantra Party from the April 23rd by-elections, Rabi Lamichhane and Swarnim Wagle, have been administered their oath. Speaker of the House of Representatives, Devraj Ghimire, administered the oath to Lamichhane and Wagle at the Federal Parliament Secretariat in Singhadarbar today. Speaking after the oath-taking ceremony, parliamentarian Lamichhane said that the environment was not conducive to join the government. He added that the party had not thought about it and a decision regarding support to the government would be taken after discussions in the party. Lamichhane added that the government had removed their agendas from the Common Minimum Program. Meanwhile, Upendra Yadav of Janata Samajwadi Party, elected to the House of Representatives from Bara Electoral Constituency 2, did not attend the oath ceremony. Lamichhane was elected from Chitwan 2, while Wagle won in Tanahu 1. The government is observing the 27th National Tea Day today with the theme of improving and maintaining the quality of tea and raising exports for economic prosperity. Now, despite the popularity and growing demand of Nepali tea, the country has not been able to meet the demands in the international market. In the tea festival held in China a few months back, Nepal won the grand gold medal. Nepal's orthodox tea is served even in international airlines like the Japanese Airlines and world-renowned brands like the American Starbucks. The history of commercial tea farming in Nepal dates back to 160 years. However, the country's production has not been able to cater to the demands for Nepal's orthodox tea by the international market. Various studies conducted by the Ministry of Industries, Commerce and Supplies and the Ministry of Agriculture have estimated that the country has been exporting tea worth around 4 billion rupees annually, while its potential is up to 12 billion rupees.
The volume of exports, but it's the value of the exports, and that we can increase the value of Nepalese tea export value, because Nepal is in an extremely unique position with their specialty that you can't get the flavor anywhere else in the world.
Tea plantation in the country spreads in an area of 20,219 hectares of land, according to the National Tea and Coffee Development Board under the Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock Development. This produces 26,000 tons of tea annually, 90% of which goes to India. Despite the presence of Nepal's embassies in 30 countries, Nepal has not been able to promote its tea. Experts of the tea industry say Nepal could sell tea in the European market for up to 20,000 rupees per kilogram, while it is selling to India for only 6,000 rupees at the moment. Government officials say stakeholders must come together to strengthen the commercialization of Nepali tea in the global market. Prime Minister Pushpa Dahal has said that the government aims to develop a deep economic partnership with China. Addressing the handover ceremony of the new building of the Civil Service Hospital constructed with Chinese aid, Prime Minister Dahal appreciated the contributions of China in the health sector of Nepal. Dahal said that the government of Nepal wanted to collaborate further with China for expansion and improvement of health infrastructures and services. Prime Minister Dahal informed that the government of China had agreed to provide state-of-the-art technologies for different hospitals of Nepal. Also addressing the program, Minister for Federal Affairs and General Administration Aman Lal Modi said that the civil hospital would be expanded to all 7 provinces. Following the construction of the new building of the civil hospital in Kathmandu by China, the hospital has begun providing treatment with 250 beds. The hospital has said that its capacity would be expanded to 300 beds in the nearest future. Alleging the government of lacking seriousness towards research and innovation, Chairperson of National Innovation Center, Mahabir Pun, has begun a protest. With a 4-point demand, Pun has begun a protest program at the capital's Maitighar Mandala. Pun has said that skilled human resource was compelled to seek opportunities in foreign countries because of the government failure in prioritizing and investing in research and innovation. He has further added that the nation would suffer massive economic losses if the government does not invest in research and innovation in this age of technology. National Innovation Center Chairperson Pun said that the government should allocate 1% of the total fund for research and innovation in the budget for the upcoming fiscal year. Other demands include establishment of Practical Research and Innovation Center under the Ministry of Education, Science and Technology for promotion of research at the private and community innovation centers and the universities as well. Nepal Airlines Corporation is to begin regular flights from the Resunga Airport of Gulmi. The Nepal Airlines Corporation has held a test flight from Resunga Airport this morning. Based on the report of the test flight, 1 flight a week will be held from the airport. According to Resunga Municipality, an agreement has been reached to hold a weekly flight either on Sunday or Friday. An 18-seat aircraft can operate from the airport, which spreads over an area of 116 ropanis. A total of 330 million rupees was spent for the construction of the airport. Operation of the road of Dubhan Siddhababa area under the Butwal Palpa section under the Siddhartha Highway is to be halted only during night time from today. Operation of the road section was being halted between 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. from the 14th of April. However, the daytime operation has resumed following the protest of the local residents who have alleged the construction company of delaying the project. In collaboration with the District Administration Office, the road section will only be shut during the night time beginning today. It is now time for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse.
The question is, what do you term the disappearance of significant data from government servers? Your options are A, height of carelessness, B, lack of technical capacity, and C, weak mechanism. The voting is on. Type NEWS, select your option A, B or C and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. Time now for the international news. Indian Defence Minister held frank discussions with his Chinese counterpart, India's Defence Ministry has said. India's Defence Minister has accused China of eroding the entire basis of ties between the two countries by violating bilateral agreements, a reference to the nearly 3-year-old standoff involving thousands of soldiers stationed along their disputed border in the eastern Ladakh region. Indian Defence Minister Rajnath Singh met with visiting Chinese Defence Minister Li Shangfu. Singh told Li that development of relations between India and China is premised on the prevalence of peace and tranquility at the borders, and that all border issues need to be resolved in accordance with existing agreements and commitments, the ministry has said in a statement. There was no immediate comment on the talks from the Chinese side. India says the deployment of a large number of Chinese troops, their aggressive behavior and attempts to unilaterally alter the border status violate agreements between the countries. Singh said that the violations have eroded the entire basis of bilateral relations. Days before Li's visit, top Indian and Chinese army commanders held an 11th round of talks in an attempt to work out a disengagement of troops from areas of tension. Both India and China have withdrawn troops from some areas on the northern and southern banks of Pangong Tso, Gogra and Galwan Valley, but continue to maintain extra troops as part of a multi-tier deployment. A line of actual control separates Chinese and Indian held territories from Ladakh in the west to India's eastern state of Arunachal Pradesh, which China claims in its entirety. India and China fought a war over their border back in the year 1962. Now, BBC chairman Richard Sharp has resigned after a report finds he breached rules while being interviewed for his role by failing to disclose two potential conflicts of interest. Sources relate to telling then Prime Minister Boris Johnson that he wanted to apply for the BBC chair role before he made an application. The second involves him informing Johnson that he was going to introduce Cabinet Secretary Simon Case to a Canadian millionaire who wanted to help Johnson with his finances. The inquiry has been looking at the circumstances of Sharp's appointment and his role in an £800,000 loan guarantee to then Prime Minister Boris Johnson. Sharp defends any breach as inadvertent and non-material and says he is resigning to prioritise the interests of the BBC. The government's choice for BBC chairperson is ultimately decided by the Prime Minister. Sharp was appointed in February 2021. The inquiry by the Commissioner for Public Appointments has been led by a lawyer, Adam Heppenstall.
Sports news.
The upper cricket ground of Mulpani, which has been talked about for the past 2 decades, is finally to receive the ODI status. Two one-day international ODI nations, Oman and the United Arab Emirates, are set to clash at the Mulpani ground tomorrow. According to the Cricket Association of Nepal, CAN, Mulpani ground will receive its ODI status with tomorrow's match. CAN Secretary Durga Raj Pathak has said that doors will open to organize international tournaments with 2 international venues with ODI status. CAN is making preparations to organize a women's cricket tournament at the 2 venues before the mid of May. The underway ACC Men's Premier Cup was the first international tournament held at the Mulpani ground in Kageshwari municipality. However, Team Nepal are yet to play at the venue as their match against Saudi Arabia was washed by rain. With tomorrow's match, Mulpani ground will become the 216th venue to receive the one-day international or the ODI status. That is all for the moment. Our next English bulletin is at 10:30 p.m. Thank you for staying with us. Goodbye for now.